wow.
I never get past by, cause I'm fly.
And I'ma put you on hold, cause I'm bold.
And Charlie Chase will last, cause he's fast. And Tony Tone got pulled, cause he's original.
The cold crush is on,
Cause we perform, and even in a storm,
we'll keep you warm. Hey crew.
My name is DJ Charlie Chase of the world famous Cold Crush Brothers, the legendary Cold Crush Brothers, or as Grandmaster Caz likes to call us, the architects of hip hop. Started back in 1975 in the Bronx, basically with a crew called Tom and Jerry. It was a disco DJ group. They were actually members of my band. One day, I went to the keyboards player's house to pick him up to go to a gig that we had. And when I went inside his house, he was DJing, and I had never actually seen DJing before. It was the first time I had ever seen that. And I was watching, you know, the way he was working it, the mechanics, how it was making it happen, and I liked the flow, and being that I'm kind of a techie nerd person, where just watching all that really, you know, excited me, and I caught interest in that. And a couple of times of going back to see him and watching him do it, I caught the bug and decided to want to be a DJ. I come from a family of musicians, and I've always liked the funk, and I've always liked rock, and I've always liked funk music and soul music. That was always in my blood. I grew up listening to Sly Stone and all of that. So when I first heard guys rhyming on a mic, you know, and they weren't even really rhyming like we were rhyming then. They would just like blurt out little things and little nursery rhymes here and there. That combined with the DJ mixing beats, you know, and certain records, and they weren't really mixing them that well either. They were just trying to mix at that time. Remember, we're at the early stages of hip hop. So when I saw that, I was really intrigued by that. And I said, this is what I want to do. This is like, I was already a DJ and a musician. I was already playing in a band. But when I saw that, I said, this is what I want to do. This is the kind of music I want to DJ. And I started playing with doing that. And I got really good at it, man. I mean, the word got out, you know, what I was doing. I was getting popular. I was putting out mixtapes and stuff like that. Every time we'd go somewhere, and me and Tony would go together, they would say, hey, they will make announcements, DJ Charlie Chase and Tony Tone's in the house. So people would come over to say what's up to us, but they'd walk over to me and say, yo, Tony, what's up? Because they knew Charlie Chase was bad on the 1 and 2s, but they figured the black guy was Charlie Chase because they couldn't picture a Puerto Rican rocking the 1 and 2s the way they heard it on the cassettes. And Tony would say, no, I'm Tony. That's Charlie. And they'd have this stunned look on their eyes like, really? You know, like for real, they don't believe it. They wouldn't believe it until they actually saw me play, and then they accepted it then. But the problem that I was having with that was that I was getting a lot of pushback. There was a lot of prejudice in the sense that the blacks were telling me, you know what, man, go back to your cowbells and your music, you know, you don't belong here. And then the Hispanics were telling me, what the hell are you doing, man? What are you doing playing that Jungle Bunny music, you know? And I was getting criticized by both sides. What are you doing? And you know, me, I always stuck to my guns. I never listened to what anybody said. I put on my blinders and I focused, and I said, this is what I'm doing, whether you fucking like it or not. This is what I'm doing. And I stuck to it, man. And you know, it was a dream that came true for me. You know, one of the things that the way that my name came about was because I wanted to battle Grandmaster Flash at the time. And Flash was one of the kids in the neighborhood who was already established. She was already DJing. And this is pre-scratching now. We're talking before even the scratch was created, you know, and all of that. And that's how my name came about, because I was trying to come up with different concepts for a name, because, I mean, my real name is Carlos Mendez. Can you imagine somebody, yeah, DJ Carlos Mendez in hip hop? Nah, man, I was not going to fly, you know. So I said, I need a stage name. So I came up with the stage name Charlie Chase, because I figured, you know, Flash was ahead of me and I'm behind him, and it's like I'm chasing him. So I said, that fits perfectly. Let me call myself Charlie Chase. I mean, we influenced so many people, you know, artists like Will Smith, you know, Run DMC, people like LL Cool J. I mean, there were just so many people that have come up to us and said, if it wasn't for you guys influencing me, this is them talking to me, they're like, we wouldn't be who we are now. Kid Rock told me the same thing. One day we saw Kid Rock up at Seattle for the opening of the Jimi Hendrix museum, the Experience Project, and I have him on videotape saying, if it wasn't for the Cold Crush, I'd probably be herding cattle somewhere on a farm. You know, I mean, we influenced a lot of people, man. So I think if the business end would have been different, we would be financially successful like everyone else was, maybe more. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have definitely not made the same mistakes that I made back then, which were a lot of mistakes. Since we didn't know what we were doing, we didn't have any experience in the music business, we left our business in the hands of other people who some were good, some had good intentions, but just didn't know what they were doing either, and some of them weren't with good intentions, and we suffered for that, like we were the first group signed to a CBS associated label. It was CBS Records at the time. We were the first hip hop record group signed, and the problem that CBS was having with us, because we were so new, to them, they didn't know how to market us. They didn't know how to promote us. They didn't know anything about us.